Welcome to the first episode of Inside the Family Garden. I'm your host, Pete Sassi, and today we're inside the Dutto Family Garden with my friend, Steve Dutto. Steve, thanks for having us. I really appreciate you being our first guest on Inside the Family Garden. One of the things I just love to know is how long have you been at this? How long have you been gardening?
My grandfather had a farm, and so we'd go up with family on the weekends, and also in the summers go up there and we would help in the garden and make wine, do all kinds of different things in the garden. So
What did he grow? So he obviously grew grapes. What else did he grow?
He grew grapes, he grew zucchini, way too much zucchini, bell peppers, pretty much everything, asparagus, broccoli. I remember, going there for meals and he would go out in the garden and pick whatever we were eating, so we would eat seasonally and have whatever was growing in the garden.
Yeah, that's awesome. So Steve, one of the things we have to know, of course, is, what do you grow?
I grow all kinds of things, whatever, seasonally will take place, and but we do herbs and zucchini, a lot of zucchini. I've tried tomatoes, they don't work. Probably my favorite thing is peppers.
Yeah, you're known for your peppers. Hot, and not just any peppers, hot peppers.
Hotter the better.
Yeah, the hotter the better. So which ones, do you have a couple of favorites or maybe one or two? Which are your very favorite?
I like the scorpion peppers, Carolina Reapers, just the super hot ones.
What do you do with them all?
I dry them, I make chili powder, mostly I do hot sauce. I like to have the neighborhood kids come over and kind of give them a little
a little lesson in heat?
Yes.
Yeah, well, that's a good challenge for them. So Steve, I know you're the pepper guy. What's the reason you grow chilies?
Well, it goes back to competitive nature with your older brother. So
What?
yeah, so when I was about 17, he went off to college. My parents are from Italy. We didn't eat any spicy food. I'd never eaten any chilies or anything like that. But he went to college at UC Berkeley, and I went to visit him, and he took me out for Chinese food. And he put a bunch of chili paste on his food, and I'm like, what is that? And so he was eating it like crazy, and I tried it, and I couldn't eat it. It was too spicy. And so I'm like, I'm going to be able to eat hotter food than my brother. So I started eating any chili I could find just to build up tolerance so that I could eat hotter food than him. So
That's funny. That's like you challenging your son's friends.
Yes.
See, but that's good. It all comes around like that. That's good. There's a reason for it.
yeah,
UC Berkeley and Chinese food.
that's the whole
So now it's come
thing
to
that
that.
ties it together. Yeah.
Awesome. So Steve, I was here the other day and I noticed this great apple tree. I'm blown away by how many apples are on here.
Well, amazing. It looks like it just got massacred because I
You
kind
really
of
did some trimming for sure.
yes. It's the neglected prolific apple tree. So
Well, it seems like it's doing a good job on its own. Why did you plant an apple tree here, right by your raised beds?
my father used to have a beautiful topiary apple tree on the side of his house, and so I thought it would look good here.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he didn't have kids when he planted his, and he was able to take care of it, and I still have 3, so I don't get out here as much as I should.
It takes a lot of care for something like this, for sure. I mean, it's producing really beautifully. It's interesting, so your grandfather had a nice garden. Your inspiration for this came from your dad. So it sounds like a lot of it came from the family. Like you are still connected to them through this a little bit.
Yes, definitely.
What do you think about sometimes when you're out here?
I think a lot about being a kid with my grandparents and my dad, and we used to work at his farm and tend to different things. We had, my brother and I each had our own fruit trees at the farm, and so
really?
we had
That's cool.
each had a peach tree, we each had an orange tree, and I remember being so excited to come back every weekend and see what had changed and what was growing, and just such good memories.
Yeah. So Steve, I was here the other day and I saw this wheelbarrow full of grapes, and I didn't even know you grew grapes. I mean, they're beautiful.
There are accidental grapes. So
Accidental. What do you mean? What do you mean?
we have what's supposed to be an ornamental grapevine in the front of the house is actually very good. Turns out they're champagne grapes. I guess we bought the wrong vine. So we have to harvest these to keep them from getting all over the entrance of the house. And they're pretty good.
They are pretty good.
Yeah.
They're beautiful. It's a whole bunch of them. What are you going to do with them?
It's about enough to make 1 bottle of wine.
Yeah,
so.
you go for that. I did notice the unbelievably flat wheel on the wheelbarrow. I don't know how you got this wheelbarrow around from one spot to the next, but nice job.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
So Steve, this is a beautiful pomegranate tree.
Right.
How long have you had this tree?
I've had this about 15 years.
Wow, it is impressive. It looks pretty happy.
It is happy. It grows a lot of pomegranates.
Yeah, it's like some good color. And how do you use them?
Well, we use them for everything. So we use them in salads, and one of my sons will just eat. If I pick them, he'll eat every pomegranate I pick, and just bowls full of the seeds. So
Wow.
we use them for everything.
Well, they're good for them.
Yeah, very good.
All right, Steve. So these are some of your dried peppers.
Yes.
And some of your output. So tell us about what you do.
All right, so you can use the peppers a lot of different ways. One of the most common ways is just dry them, and then you can either rehydrate those to make a sauce or use them for cooking. You can also grind those up into a chili powder, which is what we have here.
Yeah, I noticed this is super fine. How do you get it that fine?
I use a coffee grinder, and I wash it out very carefully after.
Otherwise, you have very different coffee.
Very different coffee. It wakes you up right away. Yes. But you should really give that a little taste. It's good.
So, you want me to try that?
Yeah, you should try that. Just a little bit on your finger.
You can tell I'm nervous.
Very
about
small.
this.
I would be very careful.
Just do a little pinch. Is that about right or too much?
That's
too much?
a little aggressive.
Okay, we're gonna give this a try. Okay. I feel it. My tongue is feeling that. My throat feels it.
Yeah, it's a kind of
Really
slow
strong.
building
It's
heat. Yeah.
right here, it's really hot.
Yeah.
And my top lip is numbing a little.
Excellent. So it's working well.
That's the design?
Yeah. It's achieving its goal.
Oh my God.
It's working well. Make sure you wash your hands really well. Don't touch anything before you wash your hands.
Okay.
Rub your
All
eyes
right,
or something.
fair enough.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
trustful of that. But, like, what do you use that for?
I love to make chili with it, so
Okay.
I put it in chili. I have to be very careful because the rest of the family doesn't necessarily like my chili, but
Because it's too hot?
it's a little too hot.
Okay.
But
I can taste this, that you've conquered your brother, the fear you had from your brother's.
he won't eat any of this stuff.
Really?
Yes. So I've won that competition.
Oh my
yeah.
God.
So.
Okay, then what's this?
Okay, so these are different hot sauces. The 2017. This is 2016. So
How long can they, what do you mean, how long can they last?
it's fermented. So we make a fermented mash using fresh peppers. I can use dried peppers or a combination of whatever I picked. These are last year's peppers, so I'm going to make a batch with last year's dried peppers and then some fresh peppers from the
Okay.
garden. But there you go.
Oh, it is citrusy. Wow, that's a very interesting flavor.
Yeah.
I like that. I have to say, if you try two things, there's always one preference, right?
Right.
I prefer, this is really beautiful.
Okay. Well, good.
It does have some heat. It packs some heat.
Yeah, it builds. It builds.
It's building right now,
Yeah.
but it's nice. Okay, a little riskier.
A little riskier.
About the same amount?
Yeah, about the same amount. I think this one's a little more complex tasting. He's getting more aggressive with his pour.
It is more complex.
Yeah.
It feels a little
it's
richer.
different. It's different.
Yeah, and they're both really nice. And now I have to say, I think I prefer this one.
Yeah, so do I.
Oh, good. So, Steve, thanks for the tour of the garden and your raised beds. It was nice to learn about them and about the history for you of your gardening. Do you have any stories or surprises you can share from the garden?
And so I've had times where, I planted rows of carrots and I get nothing. Last year I had some volunteer cucumbers, and the plant was so prolific, I think I put up about 30 jars of pickles.
Wow, that is a lot of pickles.
But they were really good. Everybody liked them, and I got to use my chilies in there. They were spicy pickles.
Ideal.
So.
That's great. Well, as a thank you for letting us use your garden and you in our first episode, I have some things from my own garden, some tomatoes, cucumbers, and this one pepper I want to share with you because I know you like a hot pepper.
Yeah.
This is called Haji Lucento pepper from the Andes. Odd that you can grow it at like 7,000 feet and also at sea level in the Bay Area. But I brought it for you because it's a hot pepper. There's heat to it.
Great.
There's some nice black seeds in there.
Nice. I'll have to make you a Hot sauce for you.
All right. Thanks.